focused a lot on trying, in the beginning, trying to plant things in the ground that would provide us with food for our community and stuff. And very soon after that, it got to the point where we wanted to really try to grow everything that grows in Wisconsin and see whether it'll make it out in the Driftless area and stuff. So my biggest claim to expertise with plant growing is I've killed more plants than all you guys combined. Seriously. I've killed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of plants. I've spent thousands of dollars which no longer exist.
So what you have left is tough.
Yeah. Very into what I call window farming. That's using the inside of your house in the winter in Wisconsin when it's really cold and where everyone's depressed, filling your house to the max with as many possible plants as you can get. I grow about 300 to 400 different kinds of plants in my house in the winter. And I have, admittedly I have like an old farmhouse with big old windows and stuff like that. But I mean my whole house is just packed with stuff. And I'll talk about a few of them that have sort of fruit potential. One of my favorite plants is the pawpaw. How many people have tasted a pawpaw? Oh, good. So we got about half the people here. Well, for the other half of the people, if you a really good pawpaw, if you take a mango and a banana and you put it in a blender, that's what a pawpaw tastes like. Pawpaw is the only subtropical fruit that we can grow in this climate. Where I live, I'm about 200 miles north of the native range of pawpaws, so I'm really pressing the limit. And in fact, as far as I can tell, there's only one variety of pawpaw which will really ripen where I am. That's a pawpaw I sell. It's a pawpaw called Pennsylvania Golden. There's the native range of pawpaw. See, I'm off the map. I'm right here. On this side of the state of Wisconsin, the actual climate is very, very similar to what this is. So there's less of an issues with hardiness. Although the season length also isn't long enough on this side of the state, so I still would stick with two cultivars, Pennsylvania Golden or Prolific. And a lot of other ones, what's going to happen, a lot of pawpaws, like the pawpaws that grow in Kentucky and South, they need another 60 more days of heat in order to ripen, and it's just like not going to happen in Wisconsin. If a pawpaw's within about a week, you can pick it, put it in the bag with some apples, and you can ripen it. If it's more than a week, it starts to get sketchy for ripening, and if it's not ripe, you're not going to eat it. It's going to be gnarly.
Pennsylvania what?
Pennsylvania Golden, PA Golden.
What was the other one?
Prolific. One other thing I should say about pawpaws is I have been trying to plant grafted pawpaws for 8 or 10 years. I have not kept a single grafted pawpaw alive where I live. I think it's just too cold that the graft unions just fall apart after a few years. So all the pawpaws I grow are seedling varieties of Pennsylvania Golden or else crosses with Pennsylvania Golden. Pawpaws are shade-loving the first few years. One of the things I'm doing at my vineyard is I have an area that's all sumac, and so I plant my baby pawpaws inside the sumacs. And as the pawpaw grows, I cut the sumacs away, and they work as sort of a nurse crop. My first pawpaws that I got pawpaw seed in 2009, or in 1999, the last millennium. And I got the first fruit in 2009. So it was 11 years from seed to get my first fruit. Pawpaws need, and actually this is sort of a correction, the best thing is to have two unrelated pawpaws or two seedling pawpaws at least to get some cross-fertilization. I actually only have one mature pawpaw alive right now, the other one that was pollinating and died. It still set fruit, but the fruit is smaller and there's way less fruit. Pawpaws are not drought tolerant. During the 2012 drought, where we had 9 weeks with a 1/4 inch of rain, it was the only thing in my permaculture, 3-acre permaculture thing that I actually managed to, or I actually worried about it sort of dropping leaves or dropping fruit, and I actually dragged hoses out there and flooded the area a couple times. It does better in sort of more of an even sort of moisture. They have the dark flowers, so the dark flowers are to attract flies as pollinators. Old wives' tale or old sort of folk way of doing it is you get some rotted meat and you throw it at the base of your pawpaw trees to get pollination and stuff. The other interesting thing about pawpaws is, when people come and look at my vineyard, and I give directions to it, I say it's the tree tube farm along the highway because it's very, very young. Pawpaws don't really have any critters that bother it, like the moles and voles and rabbits and so forth don't tend to bother it, so you don't really need to do tree tubes for pawpaws. But I put everything in tree tubes also because I'm field planting, and it's a hell of a lot easier to identify smaller trees out in the field if there's a tree tube around it. So I tend to put tree tubes around just so I can find it and so forth. So the pawpaw looks like. Pawpaws are very, very easy to germinate from seed. You just take the seed out of the fruit, you stratify it in the refrigerator. Usually about March in the refrigerator, they're starting to be popping. The first year, a pawpaw in Wisconsin will be about this tall through the first year. The ones that I have at my table are on the third year, and they're about like this tall. They're really, I would not plant a 1 or 2 year old seedling pawpaw in the ground in Wisconsin. I would think it'd be wasting your time. I talked about the early ones. So my pawpaw patch made it through 28 degrees below zero for 2 days, 55 consecutive days below zero, which is just like extreme. It was the coldest winter we'd had in our area since 1978. A lot of times the first couple of years of pawpaws, they'll get some dieback, but pawpaws are about the root in the ground, so they'll just push up to the ground. There's a little baby pawpaw. Okay, so it tastes like a cross of mango and banana. They have sort of a caramely flavor when they're well ripened. It will ripen off the tree. The reason you don't see pawpaws in the grocery store is they're kind of like figs. They touch each other, they get brown, and they get spotty. It's actually good to eat, but it's hard for grocery stores to sell them and stuff. I really hope, when I start to have a lot of pawpaws, I really hope that that I can sell them at farmers market, because I think farmers market is a good venue for selling pawpaws, because you're picking it, you're going to market, you're getting rid of it right away. It's not going to California, it's not in a truck being shipped, so it's more of a better way to kind of get them around. And the best way to put up pawpaws is when you cut open a pawpaw, I just sort of spoon them out. Of course, the seeds are like gold to me, so I collect all the seeds, and then we sort of mush it up and we put it in big freezer bags and freeze it, and we've kept it up to, like, I think we sold you a bunch for, it was like 6 months old, and it was still good.
Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And if you're really interested, the nutritional comparison of pawpaw blows just about all of our traditional fruits off the map. I mean, you can't see this thing, but there's a URL right here for it. The Kentucky has a pawpaw program. And the amount of vitamins, minerals, and essential amino acids in pawpaw is just incredible. Also, I think they're looking into pawpaw for cancer cures, which is not surprising. And pawpaw bread with board nuts is to die for. Yeah.
When is it ripen?
Mine will start ripening about the end of September into October. It really is. It's as short a season as you could get away with growing pawpaws in Wisconsin. Some good info sources. Peterson Pawpaws is traditional. It's probably the best well-known of the pawpaw people. If you really want to have a blast, the Ohio Pawpaw Festival is everything pawpaw. Pawpaw beer, pawpaw wine, pawpaw music, and just pawpaw everything.
Last weekend of September.
Last week of September. People dress up like pawpaws. I mean, it's a crazy thing. A good source for a lot of the things I'm talking about, you'll see them referenced here, One Green World, they're online. Their stock is fairly expensive, but it's very, very high quality, and you get what you pay for. And then I mentioned the pawpaw program.
How much room? Quick, how much room do you need for pawpaw?
My pawpaw trees after 11 years are about 14 foot tall, about 10 foot wide. But a pawpaw is a patch. It's a thicket. So, the pawpaw patch song, which I should be able to sing for you, but I don't know. And so like now, after about 15 years, I have like little seedling pawpaws everywhere kind of filling in and stuff.
How long do the leaves last on the trees in the fall?
Oh, they're there right around the hard freeze, and then they turn color and they
Do they
drop.
fall off when the fruit falls off, or is it fruit first?
I haven't observed.
Fruit first.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
fruit first, yeah.
And they're beautiful.
Yeah, because when we're picking it, we're looking
Beautiful
under
autumn.
the
They
leaves.
turn a gold. That's really gorgeous.
Yeah.